Hello and welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and today I want to talk a little bit more about the 7900 XT and the new build I just did. So I've been playing around with some games. I've got some downloaded. I've still got a bunch more still continuing to download as we're speaking right now. And so I was just playing around with Jedi Survivor. And that's one I specifically wanted to test again because the frame rate and the you know, like the overall performance of it was just all over the place on the PC. I was able to play it, you know, the day it came out, get through the whole game, and had a good time with it. So I'm not complaining about that by any means. Like I was able to get an enjoyable experience out of that. But here's the thing, and this is one thing that I specifically wanted to test, and I personally feel like I'm getting better HDR support from the AMD card. This is something that I wanted to test. This is something that I've been was looking really closely at, and I've tried this in a few games now. I tried it in Spider-Man, tried it in The Last of Us, and I just tried it in Jedi Survivor. Now, to me, the quality feels a little bit closer to what I'm getting with the Xbox. And that was something that I was wondering, because I'm like, well, if AMD is in the Xbox, because I never really kind of felt like the HDR support on the NVIDIA card was ever that good on my 4K screen. Like, it looked okay on the monitors and stuff like that, but it never looked right on the 4K screen to me. So when I'm looking at that through the AMD build now, and I'm comparing that, you know, kind of to what the Xbox, you know, kind of looks like with the better HDR. I do feel like the HDR10 from the NVIDIA from the AMD card actually does look, I wouldn't say significantly better, but it does look a lot better. Still not a match for what you get from the Xbox, but a lot closer than the NVIDIA card was. When it comes to overall performance now, this is the big thing. Another thing I did test on Jedi Survivor, we're just going to stick on that game just for a couple more seconds and talk about the other things. I noticed immediately when I turned on FSR quality mode, specifically quality mode for that game, because that is something that I did try with the NVIDIA card when I had that hooked up, and it kind of, like, it didn't look terrible, but it kind of looked like you could see, like, just almost like there was like a staticness to it, like all over the place, and it wasn't, and it looked sharp. It was like a sharp static. Whereas this right here with the AMD card, it kind of feels smooth. It looks smoothed out. Like it doesn't. I mean, it looks sharp. It looks crisp. It looks 4K, whatever. And like the only way I noticed it, like a little bit of fizzle or whatever, is if you look way back into like vegetation on the game, you can kind of see like a little it looks a little bit fuzzy, almost like checkerboard rendering. You can kind of see that, but like you kind of have to like zoom in really far to see that. And I was like, wait a minute, man. So I'm wondering if that's like something that like FSR looks better on the AMD platform than it does on the NVIDIA, because I did try it. Like obviously that was the only option we had for Jedi Survivor, so I was like, okay, whatever, I'll try it. I didn't really need it while I was playing on the 1440p monitor. Like, I had good enough frame rate, but when I put it on the 4K TV and wanted to try to play in 4K, I had to have that. That was a necessity, and it is still kind of a necessity with the 7900 XT, believe it or not. When you're in that open world on Koba, it does, like, you will need it at some spots, because you will dip down to like 45 to 55 frames a second or whatever. So yeah, I believe that I am still going to need that, at least in 4K. 1440p, I'm not going to need it whatsoever. But here's the thing, man, like, when I'm playing these games on this AMD platform, I'm not missing DLSS. Like, I'm not missing it. I'm not missing ray tracing, because I'm still getting the ray tracing performance that I was getting with the 3080. Tomorrow I'll be trying Cyberpunk. I'll be trying a couple more games. I'll be doing The Witcher 3. I'll be doing some more of those heavier, you know, ray tracing games, to kind of get a real feel for how the performance is. And from what I've already played so far, I pretty much just expect my ray tracing performance to be equal to what I was getting with that 3080. Or yeah, I mean that's pretty much the performance that I'm expecting out of this card for that. So in terms of like being able to still use and utilize ray tracing on the AMD platform, I'm okay with it. Like I don't even care. Like I'll turn it on, I'll see it, I'll see how it looks on Cyberpunk and all of that. And if it looks good or whatever, and it's still playable at 30 frames per second, I'll call that a win. That'll be a win for me, because I don't really care about ray tracing all that much. It's nice to look at, but I don't really. The performance hit that I was getting on the 3080 and the performance hit that I'm going to take on the 7900 XT, that is a feature that I could definitely live without. That's a feature that's spending another 8. Well, what is it? Like I paid 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So like $800 if I want a 4090, or $300-400 if I want a 4080. Yeah, I'm not spending that much just for a little bit better ray tracing. I don't need it. I don't care. So that's like the main thing. Now let me talk about how I'm feeling about like giving up DLSS for this. Like I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not even gonna try to pretend that DLSS is not good. It is, and it does do what it's designed to do, and it looks great. But I mean, I'm not feeling like FSR 2.1 on the AMD card is a slouch either. Now there are some things that you could definitely nitpick on it, but I mean on the 1440p, like on the 1440p side when I'm playing that, I don't even need it. And if I do turn it on, it looks just fine. It only starts to fall apart when you put it on 4K. That's the only time the FSR starts to fall apart, is when you put it on 4K. Now, I'm glad that NVIDIA can do that, but seeing as I mainly game on 1440p now, that's not a big deal to me. And when I do use FSR on the 4K, it doesn't look so bad I mean, like, I get a 4K image, and it looks sharp, it looks crisp, it looks good. So I'm not complaining about that. Like, to me, it just... to me, 4K is kind of a waste of resources and a waste of performance. So I just don't. I'm not too worried about that. I'm really not that worried about not getting super high quality image on 4K, because any of the games that I need to run, I'm going to be able to run them just fine. All of my sim racing games are going to run just fine at 4K on this card. No problem. I won't need any upscaling probably to run any of that kind of stuff. Now, when it comes to like the system now, like being able to get everything all situated and set up and running pretty good, I've got all three of my screens working now in tandem, and they all work just fine. I'm not having any problems anymore. Like with my screen cutting out, that was because I didn't have my screen timeout. My screen timeout was still set at like 5 minutes, but I haven't had that problem. I've got Riva Tuner and MSI up and running really well. I've got everything up and running, and it's doing pretty good. The one thing that I was having problems with was sound, and that still might be a problem, but or at least recording my sound and stuff. I was able to get the sound. I did record a bunch of other game footage and stuff, like some other benchmarks today, but my talking was still messed up in them, so I haven't uploaded those, and I probably won't upload those. But I will be going back through, and I will be doing those. The games that I tested today was Forspoken, Spider-Man, and Jedi Survivor. And then, what else? Wasn't there something else that I tested today? Oh, and The Last of Us. I tested those 4 today. And now I was playing around with those. I had this weird thing going on with The Last of Us. Like, it was looking all pixelated and stuff. And I was like, oh my gosh, is this GPU fried? Because I was playing it on 4K. And honestly, I just think that's part of the game, because everything else that I've played on 4K, no problems, nothing, not an issue on Forspoken, Jedi Survivor, or freaking Spider-Man. So that's just a Last of Us thing. Clearly, that game is still broken, and it's been a very long time for that one. What else? What else? I know you guys. I know you guys are gonna have a lot of questions, about how this is going. And so far, man, I don't feel negative about this purchase. Like, I actually feel pretty good about it. Like, I was worried the first day, and the second day, and now that we're on to like the third day, and I'm actually getting things working and things are up and running. I'm getting all my programs and everything that I use, to run the show, and I'm learning the Adrenaline software and stuff like that, which has a lot of customizability, and I like that. I'm having a good time with that. For the most part, like I love the decision that I made. Like, I'm having fun with this. This is pretty good. Like I said in the other video, this is like getting to play Starfield 2 months early, man. I get to go into the unknown and have fun, and like, I'm really looking forward to seeing how Starfield's going to run on this build, and what I'm going to be able to experience with that. That's pretty cool. I will be doing a bunch more work this weekend. It's just I've had work, my anniversary was yesterday. I just haven't really had time to sit down and really dig into all of this. So tomorrow after work, I'm planning on doing a live stream first, and we could talk about it. And then, Saturday I'll get up and I'll just, start testing, doing a whole bunch of stuff, and try to put out as many videos as I can Saturday on different types of games and stuff. So that's why Friday, tomorrow, we'll talk about everything that you guys want to know. Leave comments and leave comments in here too. Things that you want to know, things that you want to see. If it's within my power, then I'll try to do it. But if I'm not gonna buy like a whole bunch of games or anything to try to do anything else. But what I've got, I will try to test as much as I can during this weekend, and get my sound and everything all fixed up and everything. So, all right, my friends, if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching.